Hey everyone, it's Burgess from Tranquility in Art, and I thought I'd continue my Christmas themed paintings with a very simple and very beginner friendly snowman. So let's get started. So I turn the paper over first, and with a round brush and a very pointed round brush, I take clean water and wet the whole of the sky area, going particularly carefully around the snowman, especially his hat and his body, where the snow is meant to be white. So I use my round number brush, and it's actually from Funbow, and I've used this quite a lot in recent paintings, and keeps a really good point. So the point is really important here, where when you're trying to get to very small areas in the painting, and you don't want to go over little nooks and crannies in it. So just wetting the whole area down first. I then use Prussian blue for the sky, working very carefully around the snowman, especially around the body of the snowman, not so much the hat, because the hat's black anyway. So if I paint black on top of the Prussian blue, it'll still show up. However, I am going to be careful when I paint on the top of the hat because there is a bit of snow there, as you can see, and that I want to stay white. I carry on using this Prussian blue um, in the first layer just to see how dark I can get it. I mean, I do want it dark because I want to splatter snow on it a bit later on. So I carry on working very carefully around the body of the snowman and just using Prussian blue. I then add some black to the Prussian blue to darken the sky even more, so that when I splatter on the snow, it shows up a bit more. Again, working very carefully around the top of the hat and the sides of the snowman's body. I then take a really strong mixture of the same sky color, that's Prussian blue and black, and I paint in some distant fir trees the way you see me doing that here. The fir trees, and there won't be much distinct. They won't be really distinct. I mean, it's just distant trees, and because the sky is still wet, they'll sort of fade into the background as well. I just wanted to give a sense that the snowman is standing sort of in a forest somewhere in a clearing, and somebody's decided to build a snowman because there's some space there. So there's one tree on that side and two on this side, and they'll just blend in. So when this dries, they won't be so as strong because things do dry a lot lighter. Watercolors dry a lot lighter, so you'll see that they'll sort of fade into the background, but you'll know that there are trees there. And while the sky mixture and the trees are drying, I decided to paint in the snow, and I used purple for this straight out of the pan, and I thought it would be a nice touch to make it purple. And I just paint the whole of almost the whole of the ground with this color, just to indicate that it is snow on the ground there. I then wet the snowman's body with clean water and using a bit of Payne's grey, add it to the blue. Add in the shadows on the snowman to indicate that it's sort of a rounded shape. Because if I didn't do that, it would just look flat. So I'm trying to add a bit of shadows on either side to give it the spherical shape there. And I do that on the sides of the body, both sides, and where the two parts of the body join with the snowball at the bottom and the snowball in the middle, I sort of add a sort of a line of the same color there, just to indicate there's a shadow mixing, joining the two. I then go in to paint the snowman's hat, and for that I just use black, and it's a black hat, so that's okay. Now I'm not being precious about making sure that I've covered every part of the snowman's hat because it's snow and it's meant to look like there's snow on it. But I do paint the rim black, but I keep the top of the hat white to indicate the snow has fallen on it, and also around the front of the rim of the hat, as you can see there. And then just move on to the scarf that he's wearing, and I use just the blue and white stripes there. It's just fun to do actually, and for this I'm using some brush pens because the colors are very intense on that, and it's easy just to pick them up as I go. So I do that to the for the scarf. So it looks quite pretty and very prominent because and I wanted to use red because red shows up really well in the snow. So I thought that'd be a nice idea. I then use a waterproof ink pen to paint in the eyes, and I use the same pen for the mouth and also the snowman's buttons. So they actually show up against the white background there. I use an orange brush pen for the nose, which represents the carrot. Now for the arms, I use a really try to make a really strong mixture of black and Van Dyke brown for the arms of the snowman, and they're not showing up yet, but I keep adding. And what will make them show up, because the trees are in the background there, you see, what will make them show up is when I put the snow on there. But the mixture should be as strong as you possibly can get it. Now, the other thing you can use, if you're not comfortable using a paint mixture, is to use a black ink pen. Now you see the arms are now showing up now that I'm using a white ink pen for some snow that's fallen on top of the arms there. But yeah, as I say, that if you're not comfortable using paint for the arms, then just by all means use a thick black waterproof ink pen. Now, what really makes the picture really come alive and snowy is when you splatter the paint on. I'm using gouache here with a stiff bristle brush, and I keep adding it. Now, what I do find that with some types of gouache, the paint doesn't show up so much, so you have to keep trying and trying. And so just try and use something that will stay. Or you can use ink as well, actually. White ink or even acrylic ink you can use, or acrylic paint would do the job as well. I then I added some extra accents with some I don't know twigs and foliage protruding out of the ground, and the snowman is done. Um, I removed the tape, as you can see there, just to. I mean, it would make a nice Christmas card, as you can see. I think it would make a lovely little Christmas card. Now, after I removed the tape, I noticed that I should have added some shadows in areas. For example, under the scarf that he's wearing, I should have added shadows, so I'm adding them there. I'm adding a bit more shadow between the joints of the snowman and under the hat, and also where the carrot meets the face of the snowman, and round the arms as well, just to indicate that they're not sort of just sitting on top of it. So yeah, here it is, my our little snowman. I think it would be a lovely little picture for a Christmas card. Um, so do have a go, and if you liked it, do leave me a comment in the comment section, and do consider subscribing, because that really helps my channel to grow. And any comments, likes, the YouTube algorithm loves. So yeah, it would be nice to be able to connect with my subscribers. So if you have any comments, do leave one, and I will definitely have a conversation with you and love to chat with you, what you're doing at Christmas, that kind of thing. I will be painting a few more um, related, Christmas themed paintings, so do look out for those. I have a last one where I painted a sunset, a snow scene under a sunset sky, and do have a look at that. It was very, very easy. I used basically ink pens for that mainly, so it was very, very beginner friendly. So do have a look at that. So yeah, do consider subscribing and say hello. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you.